Welcome to the Mystical Unknown. I'm your host, Angela Edwina, and today we're going to talk with Christina, and we are going to talk about all of these alien and UFO sightings in Las Vegas that's gone viral over the last week or so. It happened on May 1st, but it just went viral, which is really interesting. Yeah. May 1st is when everything happened, but I think it went viral when the news picked it up. I think that's what happened because it's literally just now going viral. We are going to be watching the videos and analyzing these videos. I have been scouring TikTok and YouTube, and I've got some really interesting stuff for us tonight.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so ready.
Do you want to just jump into the videos? Or do you want to talk about the aliens first?
I guess so. Like normally when something like this would happen, I would look at it and be very super skeptical about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some things on this one that kind of make me think a little bit differently. Also,
I think the body cam footage is what really is like, what?
Wait, yeah, because those cannot be altered legally. So also, too, the amount of people that want something like this to happen, and then once it happens, are saying, well, you guys had cell phones. Why didn't you take a picture?
Dude.
Girl, I'd be shitting kittens in the back.
Right? I would be about ready to piss my pants. Like, there's no way. Like, pulling my phone out would be an afterthought. Be like, oh my God, why didn't I record that? Because I'd be too busy with my mouth on the floor.
Exactly. I would forget we had technology like that. I'd be like, dudes, okay, you're here.
Right.
Since you're here, we got questions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I see a lot of the comments, especially on TikTok, where they're like, why didn't they record? And it's just like, do you think if there was what they say, like an 8-foot alien in front of you, that you would think let me pull out my camera and record? No, you'd be hauling ass out of there. You'd either be in shock or you'd be running. One of the two. Like,
exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, we're talking about kids that probably never ever like dealt with anything paranormal or know nothing about the paranormal or know nothing about aliens or anything like that.
Right.
Like, it's not like one of us who's just like, fuck yeah, I want to meet an alien. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even we would be like, you know what I mean? And have to go change our drawers.
Like, we want the encounter, but if the encounter happened, we would probably be so stunned in that moment that it's actually happening that we wouldn't be able to think.
Exactly. So think about these kids who have no experience with this and how fucking frightened they were. I mean, an 8-foot, 10-foot alien. Oh, come on now.
Okay, let's get into the first video. So the first one is going to be the entire news segment. So when I first saw the news segment, it was on TikTok and they actually cut off part of it, but I found the whole segment on YouTube and screen recorded it. And for all of the videos, everything will be in the description, all of where you can find them if you want to go watch them yourself. If you want to, look up anything about them, about the people that's posted them, everything is going to be in the description. So with that, let's get to the first one. Are you ready?
Yep.
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now. And tonight, our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8 foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way, and whatever crashed by the time that police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting. So, like, the Metro officers see something, the neighbors see something. I mean, so what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 8 News Now investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the Pentagon as well.
And you talked to these people. It seemed completely legitimate to you. And do you have any personal thoughts on maybe what it was?
Right. So it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know. This all comes as a former high-level intelligence officer, an Air veteran, was on News Nation talking about how there is a program where the government collects some unidentified objects. So this might be that. We just don't know. We're going to work to find out, though.
And
Brian,
no substances. They were looking with.
Okay.
All right.
So that was the full article.
News
thing.
Okay.
So there were black SUVs driving around after?
Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to be skeptical. But like, just if I was just a normal person reading that, watching this, I would probably wonder what was going on too. I looked up meteorites and the colors that they come in. And a green meteorite, which is this one look green, is predominantly magnesium based.
Okay.
Which, if you think about it, magnesium is a metal. Like believe it's one of the metals. So to me, if I didn't know anything else, I would think it was a meteorite. But then all this other stuff starts tacking up on top of everything. That's when it starts to take the turn. You know what I mean? Like normally, if I would have just seen the light.
Okay. What if it wasn't a meteorite, but it was some kind of debris, like from extraterrestrials, like something that they have, and the beings that they saw in the backyard were coming to retrieve that?
Oh yeah,
because it did. If you looked at the aerial, it didn't look like anything like crashed, like a UFO, spaceship, whatever. But what if those beings were retrieving, whatever this was that fell, because it was like a part of their thing?
Well, that's why, and based on videos we've seen before, like that we've seen so far of this thing, if I wasn't into what I'm into, if I was just everyday Joe on the street, I would think it was a meteorite that crashed, a meteorite that landed in somebody's yard. But like you pointed out, there's no damage. Most meteorites burn up in the atmosphere.
Right.
But that one's fucking huge. And they already have reports of ones hitting people's houses, ended up in people's yards and everything
and
like
those
that.
were small. Those were small ones. They weren't huge.
Yeah. So like if I was just like, didn't know what was going on, I would think, oh, it's a news story about a meteorite. It's when they start talking about the creatures in the yard and everything like that is when it kind of takes that left
Listen,
turn.
my mind is like going 100 miles an hour right now. Or instead of it crashing, because it did look like it was, falling. Instead of it crashing, the beings and whatever vehicle they were in intercepted it before it hit the ground.
And it's a possibility.
And that's why there's no crater. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Although in the next video, we are going to see a little bit of the backyard afterwards.
Okay.
And you'll get to see something. So let's get into that one. And then we can go over more of what we
like I said, this is not me like poo-pooing anybody. I'm just talking of like, hey, if I didn't know better, this is what I would think it was.
Right.
And then it takes the left turn. And that's why I think there's something to this story.
Right. Okay. Let's get into the next video, because this is actually one of the people in the house at the time.
Okay.
He made a video explaining what happened, what they saw, all that. So this is his video.
Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is...
Okay, real quick. Some people, when they saw this, they were like, he's reading from a script. Well, this is the thing. Before you forget details, you write them down.
Yeah.
And so he is trying to make a video and he wants to make sure that he includes all of the details. So, of course, he wrote it down. That's what you do.
That's what you do, especially when something like this happens.
Right.
What do you think police reports are?
Right.
Or people writing memoirs. You got to get the shit down or you're going to forget it.
Right. So
people
I just wanted
trying to be picky.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way before we continue, because he does scroll and you can see him scrolling on something where he has written down everything that he wants to say. But that's just, that's what he needed to do. So he remembered things.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go.
What happened to me? Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother. and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around. The only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other, and we were scared. But when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave, like an out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video. Here's a Ring camera video. You could hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video. So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's the video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's the video.
¡Ay! Permisar! Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Kylo, cherro, que chitica. Kylo, cherro.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the police to come, and you could hear footsteps in the backyard area, and a loud whispering, like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area, and you could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro...
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to. Keep in mind, 2 officers came in my house, and one of them started running to his car, driving around the neighborhood, asking passing cars if they saw a light.
What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
Goosebumps and freaking out. He started investigating that he told me his partner, she saw a light falling from the sky. He told me he believes me because her partner reported that she saw the same light as me. Now we're walking the front yard. Then the other officer came here. Here's a video of him talking to my family.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So,
moments before they left, one of the officers told me, if I see the thing again, to don't call him, just shoot him. And you can hear in the video. Here's the video.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So they left, and we went inside the house, and we started praying. As we're praying, you could hear a loud human-like scream in the backyard. This is what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I hope you guys kind of understand what happened to me. I know it's hard to believe, but I saw what I saw, and it's kind of going viral. That's why I'm here to explain the story. I did an interview with journalist Doc Papa. I'm going to put his video in the description. I'm going to make a part 2 of the stuff that happened after May 1st.
Okay. At the time of me getting the videos, he had not made the part 2. Because I looked for it. I looked for it because I wanted to know, okay, what happened?
Right.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts?
Holy shit. That's a whole lot of something.
That's a lot of, yeah.
So, lately, more and more in my thinkings about, what aliens are, where they're from and everything, I'm really leaning towards them really not so much as being from outer space, but maybe interdimensional. Simply because it makes the most sense to me, like how they travel and everything, supposedly.
Right.
What if, because you said, what if they were there to retrieve? What if this thing came out of where it's supposed to be, ended up on our side, and these two creatures followed it in, basically? And we're like, oh shit, we got to get this and go back before anybody notices.
Yep.
Also, their description matches what people consider to be tall grays. They're like small grays, but they're tall. That always makes me giggle.
I mean, tall grays.
Yeah, so they're like basically larger versions of gray aliens. Big eyes, tall.
Okay. So do you remember him saying that when he saw the big creature, the tall creature, he just froze? Like, I don't, that could have been the alien doing that. That could have been him just going into absolute shock because of this like 8-foot creature in front of him. Like,
I mean, right?
And people are like, "Oh, why didn't you get your phone out?" Well, I could not think clearly at the moment.
Right? I was too busy like filling my drawers up.
Right.
Like, for real. That's, yeah, exactly. Like, you're looking at this kid, like he's technically a kid in our eyes. And he's talking about running into this weird creature in the backyard.
Right.
Like his sanctuary, basically, where he was fixing a truck with his brother at midnight, because it's a safe neighborhood and this is where he wants to be. And you basically got some unknown creature in your backyard. You're not going to think of, oh, let me get my cell phone out. You're going to be like, is this thing going to hurt me?
Right. So what do you think about the perfect circle?
You know what? I there's a lot of things we could entertain about that. What if it's
a portal?
Exactly.
What if it's where the portal opened up?
What if
Listen, I
like
was waiting.
I
I couldn't wait for you to say it. I knew you were going to say it.
You knew I was going
But
to say,
if they're
what if it was a portal?
interdimensional,
Yeah, what
they
if it was, yep, the residue of a portal. They opened it up,
right, the
grabbed what they needed to
imprint
get, and then went
where
back.
the portal was, where they came.
Exactly. Or what if that was really a meteorite and they were like, oh, let's go get it. And they went and got it. And these boys intercepted them before they could get back to wherever they came from. Because we don't know what these creatures, we don't know what they build their ships out of. We don't know how they really travel. We don't know what they eat. We don't know.
I mean, for all we know, it could be the invisible shield.
Right? Like, you know, they could be like, right? Like they could be like, ooh, magnesium. We need that to feed our space cows. You know what I mean? Like it could be anything. You know what I mean? Like this story is it's so low key, but it's so bonkers at the same time.
Right. Oh, just wait till you see the other 2 videos I have.
Like, you know, I'm
wait.
sure.
I found some really good videos of people that took the videos that they did get from their phones and did like not editing, but like changing the brightness and slowing things down.
Okay.
Let's get into one.
Yeah, I think I saw one, but I want to see them.
So this first one really kind of freaked me out. I was like, oh my God. I watched it probably a good 10 times.
What is this? What am I looking at? A kid from this family, if you don't know, uploaded a video telling his story with some extra clips that this family took. And everyone was like looking through the footage to find the aliens. And then I looked and I think I found it or something. But like, if it's not an alien, what is this? Just help me out here.
Okay, so this is a very slowed down screen recording I took, and I know everybody is trying to find the aliens in front of these guys, but I noticed something insane, and I want everybody, my 2 friends who will watch this, to take a look down, pay attention to 2 areas. We're going to look down here on the bottom right behind their fence and right up there, but we're going to first start down here because I found something crazy. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to what I believe is the creepiest part of this video. And I'm going to point out 2 things you need to pay attention to right here, which is the head. And if you look really close, there's actually a shiny black eye. And what you will see in about a minute is a hand. That, I believe, is some creature, non-human, crouching down. And that was its eye I just pointed at. And I want you to pay attention to what appear to be fingers running up the fence, as if it's kneeling down or something and peering out. And then there you go. See the fingers? And I think I go back and forth a couple times here, but it looks to me like there's a little other or a big creature looking through the fence on the bottom there, crouched down.
I love the art.
I know.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you tell me. And then there's his fingers going right up and down, up and down. Just looks like almost a human hand crawling up the fence, and at the very beginning you see an eye, and I think right here I show you the fingers. So what's really interesting about this is it is happening next to them and kind of in front of them, but behind a fence. Yeah, the fingers are really crazy. So, and I'll show you what even made me realize this was here. So what I noticed was, if you look at the top right, look at the top right now, there's actually a shadow figure. It almost looks like it's a dense, shadowy figure comes into frame. If you're looking right, at the 3 fence posts, if you're looking at the top right of them, you're actually going to see something that looks like a shadow figure that has density, and it's only there for about a minute. And when it walks in the frame, I think I'm just going to highlight it right here. I was doing the best I could on my phone. Maybe whatever creature was projecting a shadow up above it or something. But see, there's the eye and the hands, but it also looks like there's another aspect to it, which is that shadow that you can clearly see walk in. I know everybody's looking for the alien in front of them, but there's one hiding next to them.
Okay. So the finger thing, when he drew it, like at first it took me a minute. I saw the fingers, but I didn't see the eye. And then he drew it And he let it go. And I was like, is it watching them? Like hiding behind the doorway thing.
So the only thing I could really truly discredit in this is the shadow. So if you see the kids walking through the thing, when that one kid enters the frame, that's when you see the shadow, like it matches.
Yeah.
And I think there's light sources behind them. As far as like the eye and the hand and everything like that, I would be interested to see what's behind that fence.
Right.
I would want to see what's behind that fence. Also, you could almost say, you know, we always try to struggle to piece things together to see something that our brain makes sense of. I think it's pareidolia.
Right.
So is that really what we're seeing, or are we seeing shadows cast by the kids walking into the light? Do you see what I'm saying?
Listen, the shadow. Okay, I got that. Christina, that was fingers.
I know you wouldn't.
Those were not shadows. Okay,
I understand, but all I'm saying is, people. I have no doubt there's something there. Okay, I'm not saying that there's not. I'm just saying a lot of people have tried to, kind of, discredit this particular part of the video when they see it. They're trying to say, well, it's a shadow against the fence. I would like to see the other side of the fence because I want to see if there's anything there, like blocking it or anything like that. That's all I want to see. I see fingers. I see a little eyeball pop out. To me, there could be something creeping, something crouching, waiting. Like I said, the only thing I can't really get behind is that shadow at the top because of how relation it is with the kid walking into the frame.
Right.
As far as the rest of it, that's a little puzzling. Like I said, I've seen other people try to say, well, we're looking at something here. We're trying to make sense of it. It's the shadow, da, 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 da. How can it be shadow when the fence, the door's open? It would be completely dark in that corner, possibly. A shadow wouldn't show up. You know what I mean? Like it would just be dark. Like something's creating some sort of like contrast behind it. Like fingers and, a head.
Listen, I was sold. Like I was just like, it's an alien. It's an alien. They got an alien on video. Anyways, so this next video kind of leaves off where that one, picks up where that one left off and does a little bit more with the lighting and stuff like that. And I'm just going to let you watch it. It was sent to me on TikTok today. So I watched it one time and thought, I'm just going to wait and I'm going to watch it with you. So let's watch it.
Uploaded by the cousin of Angel, the guy who made the video, late last night, and they only had it up for like 5 minutes and took it right down, but I downloaded it. Check this out. They're arguing about something in the back. As you can see, everybody has guns. They're in there ready for whatever might come. Now they're gonna get startled right here, and you can't really tell why, but I'll brighten it up. After zooming in and slowing it down, they see something, they back up right in between these two guys. Now I'm going to zoom in, slow it down for you. As you can see, there's something there. But what if we brighten it up? There's definitely something there. All I did was brighten the footage. I don't know if it looks like something. It's up to you. A lot of people were saying, why couldn't you record it? Why can't I see anything? You gotta understand, she didn't see it to begin with. She's coming in later. But the husband is convinced it's right there. How could you not see it? It's behind the second forklift. And he's telling her, it's right there. And so she's recording it, she doesn't see anything. She's trying to think, where? You can't tell. But usually some things are right in front of us that we can't see. Now, as I slow down this footage that she's watching, remember the iPhones are really bad at night, especially when you zoom into like 15x digital zooms. It's trash, but it's actually right here and it's very clear and you can't see it because your brain couldn't process it. You're trying to find it hiding somewhere behind something. And now I will brighten it up for you so you can really see. When I messed with the brightness and I saw this, I literally freaked out. As you can clearly see, he's behind the tractor just like the guy said, just like Angel said in his video, and he's definitely 10 feet tall. That forklift is about 8. Look at the truck, is about 6. 6, 8, 10. It seems about right. And he's got a big head, black eyes. You could clearly see it. I don't know how we missed it before, but it was right there the whole time, just like the dad said. Now you might be like, there's no way, that's crazy. But the more you look at it, the more it makes sense. And it lines up with everything in the kid's story. They are 10 feet tall. He was behind the forklift and he was there the whole time. And they're recording this as if you can clearly see it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. Maybe they're coming. Maybe you better be ready. Either way, like and comment for part 2.
Okay, so thoughts on that?
Okay, so one thing that I did find interesting, because I've never seen this video, which basically makes the whole fingers and, you know, the face behind the fence, look at where there's light source. Like the light source is behind the fence. So something had to have been there to cause that, like, outline, that shadow. So
okay, so
people are going to be like people have been freaking out over it. It's like, you know what? The people that are screaming about disclosure are the same people that are like, I don't see it. Or they're just like, well, you know, because this, and this. Earlier when I was talking about the shadows, I was basically explaining it from that point of view. The brightening up the clip and everything and showing whatever's back there. First of all, props to the alien dude. Like, he is not moving. He is still. Like, you know, that's crazy.
The thing was bigger than the forklift.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, it had to have been 10 to 12 feet tall. Like, it was big.
But that's what they said in the 911 call.
Yep. Like,
see, my toxic trait is somebody be like, oh, there's an alien over there. And I'd be like, get my phone. Oh, where? Oh, it's behind it. Let me go back here and see.
But the thing
I
is,
am
like,
the typical white woman that will probably get eaten.
well, but here's the thing. Like, that's interesting that you bring it up. So we got the experiencers, right? They're too shocked to even open the phone, go in, take pictures and whatnot. It's an outsider that didn't experience it who's got the footage. And I think people fail to realize that. They're like, well, you know, why didn't you take it? Because they're experiencing. It's the same way if you go to a concert. Like, a lot of people want to take out their phone and film the concert. No, I want to be there to see it. Like, I want to experience it. Like, it's two different kinds of people.
See me? I ain't scared of shit. I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, hey, Jethro, can I go home with you? I don't want to be here. I don't like this planet anymore.
You know, but we're weirdos. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we do. We would attempt to communicate, you know, because
I would be like, listen, Jethro, I need you to speak English for me.
But you know,
by the way,
I mean?
I named him Jethro. I don't know why he's Jethro, but he's Jethro.
I don't either.
The big 10-foot one is Jethro.
No, I'm seeing an Arthur. Like, he is a dapper chap. Okay,
maybe that's the one that was crouching down at the fence. That's Arthur, and the Jethro is the big one.
And Jethro, you know what? Arthur's the one with the brains. He's the brains of the operation.
And Jethro is the muscle.
The big dumb one to shut up. Like, just don't move. Just stay put.
Just don't move.
You screwed this up for us the last time. Don't move.
They've already seen you.
Right? Like, don't, just make like a twig and don't move.
Make like a twig and don't move.
Whatever they say. What is that? Make like a tree? Anyway, I'm tired and I have to get up super early in the morning. So I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, this is how my brain runs. But we're the weirdos. You know what I mean? Like, we would be like, hey, let's communicate. And these guys are like, holy fuck, I've never seen anything like this before. So, you know, yeah, we're just different. But the whole looking at where he's brightening it and the shape of the alien and everywhere and everything, somebody I caught on Instagram somewhere, somebody drew it. And I wish I would have saved it, but I kind of lost it. Like, I saw it and then it, you know, it refreshed and it was gone. They drew it and it looked almost it looked kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Like it looked like it was friendly. You know what I mean? And I was like, God damn it. Like here we go again. It's supposed to scare the shit out of these kids, but I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Like Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
You're
like,
supposed to
oh,
scare
he's so
them.
cute.
You're supposed to scare them. You're not supposed to, they're not supposed
Be
to like
friends
you.
and shit. Yeah. But it's not typical. Like it's not what they saw isn't typical. Like this drawing, supposedly, I'd never seen anything like that before. Like it was very animal like. Like it had the big eyes and it had kind of like a snout and like a mouth. It was like, because I mentioned earlier tall grays. Tall grays are basically a taller version of a small gray.
Hear me out. Have you ever seen the movie I Am 4?
I don't remember.
Okay, it's where the guy comes, they've hidden like these special people on Earth because aliens destroyed their planet, whatever, and they start waking up. So you have like the regular aliens, and then they have like monsters, like big, huge, like muscle, like the big one. And
Jethro.
Like Jethro. Yeah. Like they have like the ones that plan everything, and then they have the ones that go do the dirty work. And Jethro was right there by the forklift. His big ass probably got seen, pissed everybody off. That's why they heard all the footsteps, because everybody running around trying to get Jethro back into the portal. along with whatever the hell fell from the sky.
It's always Jethro, man. It's always that one person.
And whispering, listen, bitch, come on.
Yeah, right. He's
they
like,
have seen you.
Yeah. He's like mom. He's like gritting his teeth and talking through his teeth because he's pissed. Come on. I mean, we can't discount it. Like, maybe there's 3 of them back there. The kid said 2. So maybe there's 2 big ones and 1 little one. We don't know.
One thing that he said was that they heard a scream. Do you remember that? What would that be?
He said he heard a human-like scream.
Maybe they took somebody with them.
Yeah.
See, that would be me. So that would be screaming. I'd be like, oh, please be better than this place.
Right. We got to stop home. I got to pack some stuff.
I need to get my cats.
I wonder. So I would be interested to see what their neighbors said that were around them. Because
looking at the aerial, their backyard was huge.
Yeah, but there was still, I believe, some houses around there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wonder if a neighbor saw one and screamed.
A lot of people don't want to say if they see something like that, because these people are getting backlash. Like they're getting called crazy. They're like saying they made it all up. Like they're getting all this backlash online. Like there's other people that may have seen things and may have actually seen the creatures, but they don't want to say anything because they don't want to deal with all the bullying.
Yeah, like, well, that's where I was going. Like, you'd be interested to see what this neighbor said, and probably none of them would say anything. But I wonder if one of their neighbors saw something, somebody screamed, and they're never going to know who actually, because it's a human scream. I mean, their neighbor Mary may have been taking out her trash. She may have gotten home from work late, taking out her trash.
I bet the reporters probably tried to get statements from the neighbors.
Yeah, possibly.
But they probably wouldn't. They're like, we do not want to be involved in this.
Yeah, they're not going to. Especially now, since this kid's getting so much garbage thrown at him. And it's like, I'm not going to come out and be 1,000%. This is exactly what it was.
Right.
It's leaning towards it. Like it's a strong possibility. It's leaning towards that.
I'll say 1,000%. That's what it is. This is why we're friends, because you'll be like, no.
Like,
no. I'm like, yes.
Like yes. I want them to be around as much as you do, but we just have to leave that buffer in place so we don't completely lose our minds. So But the amount of people that are
Lose my
giving,
mind.
anyway,
I know I say some crazy stuff sometimes,
ding
but
dong. So, but okay, 99%. Okay, that's it. That's all you
that's
get
the
from
best
me.
I've ever gotten from you. Like ever.
Okay.
I will show you something and you will like shoot me down so quick.
Because because I want the real stuff to be amazing. Like I don't want real stuff to happen every day. I want it to be like in a genuine thing that happens. You know what I'm saying?
This was pretty amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why, I was just like, we had that conversation the other day. Like, this is pretty damn awesome that this happened. As far as backlash and everything, like the amount of people giving this kid shit.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm probably going to piss some people off, but they're the ones screaming for disclosure. They're the ones wanting the government to release more information. They're the ones believing in things that are completely outlandish or clear hoaxes. And they're going to turn around and they're going to say, well, this kid's full of shit. Okay, so, the dog man outside the zoo in Texas that was just a guy in a hoodie that you guys were like, it's dog man. That's believable over what this kid's doing. What he filmed and what he experienced. You got to kind of think about it a little bit. Also, the people that are like freaking out because he didn't get video. Somebody got video.
And you can also tell how scared they were in the video because it's not just a straight on video. Like they're running and they're moving and like people drive me insane saying they should have taken video. It's like, what would you do? Like, I mean, I know what I would do.
Yeah.
But I have no fear.
Well, and the thing is, we don't truly know what we're going to do until it happens to us. We truly don't know. Like, we don't know. I mean, you say that, but it could change. But for a normal Joe, not a weirdo, like, you're not going to take out your phone. You're going to forget you have the phone. You're going to be probably frightened as hell, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You're not going to think of any questions you have to ask them or how awesome this is or how monumentous, holy shit, an alien is on my front lawn. You're going to think, is this thing going to eat me? Is it going to hurt my family? You know what I mean? And there's been a lot of people in the community that have really said some shitty stuff about it. And I'm like, you want experiencers to come forward and say stuff and explain what they've been through and everything. But this is how you treat them. Right. You say shit like, well, you have a phone in your pocket, take it out. And if you run into an alien in your backyard, if not, just shut up. So, but you're the same people that beat Roswell and Betty and Barty Hill to death when there's no new information. They didn't have cell phones. Like, you still believe them. You still believe a lot of other people.
Right.
So why can't you just believe these people just because they don't have proof? There's a lot of shit we don't have proof for that people believe in. And I'm not going to get into that because I digress. We already know.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all the videos that I have right now. If more come out, like I'm going to keep checking to see if he posts a part 2 because in the news article they were talking about the black SUVs and stuff, so I'm hoping he posts a part 2. And if any other videos where people are like finding things come out, we're gonna have a part 2 to this where we analyze it. But
yeah,
this whole thing is wild.
I mean, it really is. Like,
it's wild.
It's really caused like a ripple,
And I've also seen in the comments there are people that don't think aliens exist, and I'm just like, how can you think that our little planet is the only planet that has life?
Not to mention is like, you can't assume that we're the only dimension.
Right. But those are people that think that,
Yeah. We digress. Because they still haven't figured out exactly what's going on with like black holes and stuff. Like they could lead into another dimension. Like science and math and all that other stuff, like, you know, to sit there and be like, well, I believe in this one thing, but I don't believe in this other thing.
Right.
You just close your brain off. I mean, I may be skeptical of shit, but you know, it's only because I'm real picky about the selection. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not saying, oh, that's not what happened. You know, I'm not saying your experience didn't happen. It's just, I'm going to analyze it because when the good stuff comes along, I want to be able to recognize it.
Right.
I don't want it to be like everything's aliens, because then finally when it does happen, we're all like, oh, it's an alien. We saw it before. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like if we do that, we start to become desensitized.
Right.
So, and I think people that sit there and they're like, well, aliens don't exist, you know, cryptids don't exist, this doesn't exist. They're already desensitized. Like that part of their brain is shut down to where they
either
only
that
believe
or
certain things.
they just can't handle it.
Yeah.
They can't handle thinking that there's life outside of us, outside of this planet.
They're missing something, because that's what it is to be human, is to wonder and think beyond your capacity to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Like, to be curious about things. That's why science like exists. Like it's in our nature to be curious about what's going on around us. So.
Right. Okay. This was a fun podcast. Yeah. And like I said, if I find more videos, we're going to get together and we're going to do a part 2, because this is
I mean, I would be
amazing.
Interested. Yeah, I'd be interested to see like if he's seen these black SUVs, where they were located. Has there been any helicopter? I mean, they're near a base, I guess is what they said. They're near a base, so they may see helicopters all the time. So you really can't distinguish that.
Right.
But, you know, if you've got a black SUV, like tons of black SUVs, and they're rolling down your side street, you know, at weird hours of the night, is something going on, you know?
Yeah.
You just got to kind of piece together the puzzle, so to speak.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the podcast tonight. All of the videos, everything will be linked in the description. Make sure you give Christina a follow on Instagram. Everything, all of her socials, everything will be linked in the description. And until next time, maybe we'll have more alien stuff next time.
Back to piss you off.
Right. Thank you for joining me for tonight's episode of The Mystical Unknown.